Yeah, good morning, bud. Well, just wanted to continue on with the crash stories. Wasn't too long. I was pretty young when I started learning how to be wild. I remember I was in the I think the third grade, fourth grade, 9 or 10. Dad had this old tote goat. It's like a motorcycle, small motorcycle, tubular frame. It's got a lawnmower engine to power it. He'd put me on that thing and my feet couldn't hit the ground, so he'd start it up, give me a push, and I'd ride that thing all over these vacant lots till I either crashed and fell over, and then he'd pick me up, put me back on, or I'd run out of gas, which time I just let it tip over and he'd fill it back up, start it up. I'd ride that thing for hours and hours. And it wasn't too much longer than that. I was about 15, got my driver's license. Finally was able to go out and drive. Mom and Dad let me use the car, so I went and picked up a buddy. We went and picked up these two fine little ladies, and well, we was out just showing them a good time. I was driving all over the place. This young lady was sitting up front with me. She gave me those big blue eyes, and she says, "Can I drive?" I thought to myself, "Oh, no one else is supposed to drive. Insurance won't cover it." She says, "Please." I said, "All right, just a little ways." So we pulled over. I let her get in, start driving. We're heading down the road, got about half a mile. She loses control, bears off to the right, takes out two gas pumps, sign, heads off to the left across the road. I reached over and put on the brake and finally got us to stop about 5 feet before going off into this ditch. First thing that popped in my mind is, ah, shit, nobody's supposed to be driving but me. So I picked her up and threw her in the back, moved over about the time everybody come running out to see if we was okay. And sure as crap, I'm sitting in the driver's seat, so I took the blame. Insurance covered it. Mom and Dad was pretty pissed. I think I lost my driver's license for a month or something like that. I think I was 33 years old before I ever told Mom and Dad the truth about that. Good thing Dad couldn't catch me. He would have whipped my ass. Got a little later, maybe a year after that. I was in the 10th grade. I was probably 16 years old. Me and some buddies decided we was going to go out and get drunk. A friend of mine, Terry, had this old 1956 Delta 88 Oldsmobile, built like a tank. Well, that thing could just take anything. We got us a case of beer and headed out of town over to the sand dunes. We proceeded just to get flat drunk. Then we all decided, hey, let's go driving around. So we hop in the car and we're going down the road and running alongside the road. On the right-hand side, there's this small creek. Somebody says, "Hey, Wolfman, I'll bet you $10 you can't get up on top of the car while we're moving and jump out and land in that creek." I looked at it, I says, "Make it 20, you got a deal." So we're going about 30, 35. I crawled out of the car window and up onto the top, and just before this bend comes up, I figured that'd be a good place to jump. So I jumped off of that thing, and man, I sailed that creek. I hit the bank on the other side, kaplop, fell backwards into the creek. They come pick me up and said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah." And I says, "You missed the creek. We don't have to pay you now." I doubled up my fist. I says, "Bullshit. I ended up in the creek. I just hit the bank first." So I got my $20. Then we proceeded to head into town. We were going through this big parking lot and just racing through it, drunk as hell. Forgot that parking lot ends. Makes a sharp turn to the right. And at the end of that parking lot, there's this deep vacant lot. It went down about 8 feet. Out in the middle of the parking lot, probably 20, 30 feet out, there's this huge mound of dirt. We crashed through the barrier, went out and landed right in the top of that mound of dirt, bent that car all the hell way up. Needless to say, Mom and Dad thought I was quite the handful. Not too long after that, the day after my 17th birthday, I got shipped off to the Marine Corps. Well, I got back from the Marine Corps, decided Idaho Falls wasn't quite making it. I wanted the big city, so I headed down to San Diego, California. Got down there, had an old pickup truck, traded it for a couple of motorcycles. Then I decided, it's getting rainy, so I traded the two motorcycles for an old Baja Bug. It's a Volkswagen cut up, make it look like a dune buggy. And I took that thing out to the sand dunes and rolled it twice. Figured, okay, it's still good. Put it back together. Drove it back to Idaho, showing some friends all the things they could do. We was out these what's called pumice pits. There's a few cliffs, stuff out there. One was about 16 feet. I told everybody, bet you I can jump that cliff. I knew that if I had enough speed going over the hill, I'd have enough torque to keep that rear end down, and I'd be able to land. His buddy says, oh, I want to go with you. I want to go with you. I said, okay, get in. So we're heading down the road. Went up around this dirt road, getting ready to go up the hill, doing probably 45, 50, just about to go off. My buddy gets all scared. He says, no, and he reached over and he grabbed the emergency brake and just yanked up on it. We was doing probably 2 or 3 miles per hour when we went over that cliff. Went out, straight down, landed on the nose. Both of us hit the windshield. Something out of the corner of my eye, I saw it hit the windshield. Water, something went flying all over us. It rolled over onto the top. Buddies and everybody come over and got us out. I said, you okay? And I said, yeah, I got this bump on my head. I guess we broke the radiator. I got this water accepted all over my neck. And about time it started stinging, it dawned on me, Volkswagens don't have radiators. It was the battery. I forgot to strap the son of a bitch down. We came flying up, hit the windshield. We had battery acid all over us. So here we are out in the Tulies. Nearest farmhouse is about a quarter of a mile. We took off running down that hill towards the nearest farmhouse. Got there and pounded on the door, and to make it even better, the farmer comes out with a shotgun. What the hell you guys want? We explained to him what happened, so he reluctantly went and got some baking soda and threw it all over us. We had to stand out there, still cold, using his water hose to rinse ourselves off. So I got the tow truck, took the dune buggy, the Baja Bug, took it back to Dad's shop, put it in there. Dad walked up and looked at that, and he says, fucked up again, didn't you, son? I says, yeah, Dad. He says, how many times have I told you? You got to have a lot of speed when you're going over those cliffs so you got enough torque to keep the rear end down. I said, Dad, I know. I had somebody with me. So he proceeded to cut the top off that old dune buggy. We welded a new one on it. That day I was at the coffee shop. These guys come up and start ragging on me about the cliff incident. I told him, I said, hey, I can whoop any of you guys. Now this one boy, his dad just bought him a brand new little Porsche. And he says, I'll road race you. Right? So we was on the other end of one side of town. I says, okay. Over at the other side of the town, there's this church over on whatever street it was. And I says, the first one there wins. So we took off and we're going pretty much the same directions and everything. We get, a half mile from there, and there's this residential area. And he cuts up early down the streets, and I went down about 5 or 6 blocks more, and then I cut up because I knew it was a direct shot to the church. We're heading down the road, and all of a sudden there he is, coming the other way. He tries to make the corner and can't. He T-boned me. Hit me in the passenger side, sent me flying across the road and into a telephone pole. And needless to say, that was the end of my Baja Bug days. But there was many more crashes to come in life. I remember one time I had an old Mustang, had this really long driveway, living over in Oregon. And I figured, okay, if I'm going about 45, 50 miles per hour down that dirt road where it ends, there's an asphalt road. And if I throw that car sideways, then when I hit the asphalt, I'll be heading the right direction, just spin the tires, head on down the road. That sounds cool. So I'm going down the road, driveway about 45, 50. Threw it sideways right at the end, perfect sideways. Hit that asphalt, the tires on the right side buckled underneath me. I continued over to the other side of the road where there was about a 14, 15 foot embankment. I went down that embankment about 10 feet before I hit the trees. Finally stopped me, thank God. Could have rolled if I hadn't. That was the end of the Mustang. There's many of those wrecks. I could go on and on, telling you about the stupid things I've done in cars. Wasn't too much longer. I got Got in a T-bone accident with my newest hot rod. Going down the road, I thought I was just going so cool. Guy come out of nowhere, hit me right in the side. So much for the Cobra. Nice little Ford Cobra. It's gone now. I remember when I got back from the Marine Corps, Dad had built me this 1968 El Camino SS 396, blueprinted and balanced. I wanted to see how fast that sucker could go. So I got it out on the freeway. I knew there was a cop up there. He always sat there. He knew me well. We even raced against each other once in a while. I'm going down the road and that speedometer only says 120. I figured I got to be doing better than that. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and go past that cop. What's he going to do? Give me a ticket? So I passed him. Here comes the sirens and the lights, and he follows me up. Pulls me over and he looks and sees it's me. He says, "Wolf, what the hell are you doing back here? I thought you was gone in the Marine Corps." "Well, I'm back on leave, sir. Dad built me a new car. Look at this." He said, "You know how fast you was going?" I says, "No, sir. Speedometer only goes to 120. But I figured you'd tell me." He says, "Son, you're doing 155. "Cool." And he says, "Not cool, bud. This time you're going to jail." So off I went. Dad took the car. He sold it. And I went back off to Marine Corps. Then a lot more wrecks to come. There was even one over in Memphis, Tennessee while I was in the Marine Corps. I'll have to tell you about that one someday. But for now, it's getting late. I need to get up, get dressed, take a shower, see if I can't get something done with my life around here. Till then, Wolfman Wayne telling you, have a great day.